Hello, Canada. I'm Foster Hewitt, and I'm honored to have the privilege of again bringing you to the play-by-play of the second game in this great series. And my sidekick, Brian Conacher, will again be doing the color.
And Foster, the first piece of business on the agenda tonight is a presentation of the Lester B. Pearson Award.
The center is the Right Honorable Lester B. Pearson, former Prime Minister of Canada. To present the Lester B. Pearson Award to the hockey player voted by all the NHL Player Association members as contributing most to the game of hockey in the 1971-72 season. Mr. Pearson will be accompanied by Mr. Alan Eagleson, Executive Director of the NHL Players Association and the Director of Hockey Canada.
Mesdames et messieurs, c'est avec plaisir que nous invitons maintenant le très honorable Lester B. Pearson, ancien Premier ministre du Canada, à venir prendre place au centre de la patinoire. Monsieur Pearson est accompagné par le directeur de l'Association des joueurs de la Ligue nationale de hockey et directeur de Hockey Canada, Monsieur Alan Eagleson. Il remettra le trophée Lester B. Pearson aux joueurs reconnus par ses collègues comme ayant contribué le plus au sport du hockey au cours de la saison 1971-72.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me a great pleasure to introduce to you a great Canadian, the former Prime Minister of Canada, the Honorable Lester B. Pearson.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to be able to present this trophy, which bears my name, to a great hockey player and a very fine gentleman, Jean Rattel. Félicitations, bon chance.
Mr. Pearson, ladies and gentlemen, it surely is a great honor for me to win this award, and I would like to thank all the players for voting for me, my teammates, and especially Roger Bear and Vic Hatfield for making it possible. Mesdames et messieurs, c'est réellement un grand plaisir pour moi de gagner le trophée Lester Pearson. J'aimerais remercier tous les joueurs de la Ligue pour voter pour moi, et spécialement tous mes coéquipiers, Roger Bear et Vic Hatfield. Merci beaucoup.
Of course, Jean Rattel was the winner and a very worthy one. And the Soviet team is just coming out on the ice and is receiving a very excellent reception from the fans in the Maple Leaf Gardens. Now the Team Canada coming out, and they're getting a standing ovation. So the fans haven't given up on their favorites yet. They were well beaten in the first game of the series, but they're out to redeem themselves tonight, and they're all lining up, the two teams facing each other, and in a moment, the individual players will be introduced to the crowd, but the applause still goes on.
Tonight's game, mesdames, mesdemoiselles, messieurs, voici les joueurs de la rencontre de ce soir. For the Soviet national team, pour l'équipe nationale soviétique, wearing number 1, portant le numéro 1, Victor Singer. Number 2, le numéro 2, Alexandre Gousseff. Number 4, le numéro 4, Victor Kuskin. Number 7, le numéro 7, Gennady Tchakenkov. Number 8, le numéro 8, Yeskislav Stachtikov. Number 10, le numéro 10, Alexandre Malchev. Number 11, le numéro 11, Ergini Zimin. Number 12, le numéro 12, Ergini Mishkavkov. Number 13, le numéro 13, Boris Mikhailov. Number 15, le numéro 15, Alexandre Yakushchev. Number 16, le numéro 16, Vladimir Petrov. Number 17, numéro 17, Valery Karlamov. Number 19, le numéro 19, Vladimir Chadrin. Le numéro 20, number 20, Vladislav Tretiak. Number 22, le numéro 22, Yakeslav Anisin. Number 25, le numéro 25, Yuri Lyatkin. Number 26, le numéro 26, Evgeny Poladiev. Et le numéro 5, number 5, Alexandre Ragoulin. Now for Team Canada. Maintenant pour équipe Canada, portant le numéro 1, wearing number 1, Ed Johnston. Number 2, le numéro 2, Gary Bergman. Number 3, le numéro 3, Pat Stapleton. Number 5, le numéro 5, Brad Park. Number 6, le numéro 6, Ron Ellis. Number 7, le numéro 7, Phil Esposito. Number 9, le numéro 9, Bill Goldsworthy. Number 12, le numéro 12, Yvan Cournoyer. Number 14, numéro 14, Wayne Cashman. Number 17, le numéro 17, Bill White. Number 19, le numéro 19, Paul Anderson. Number 20, le numéro 20, Peter Mahovlich. Number 21, numéro 21, Stan Mikita. Number 22, numéro 22, Jean-Paul Parisset. Number 23, numéro 23, Serge Savard. Number 25, numéro 25, Guy Lapointe. Number 27, numéro 27, Frank Mahovlich. Numéro 28, number 28, Bobby Clark. And number 35, numéro 35, Tony Esposito. Also
There's
for
Harry
ladies
Sinden in the dressing room, and he's pacing right now, waiting for this to get over, get the game underway. Coach Sinden knows how important this is for Team Canada to come back and win this first game, because this is an 8-game series, not just a one-game affair. exchange gifts, which is an important part in international hockey. Team Canada will be giving the Soviet players an Ontario crest and cufflinks from the province.
This is Game 2 of the Canada-Soviet series from Toronto. Players are warming up for the occasion, and the starting lineups for the Soviets: Ragulin and Sigankov, the defense; Starshinov, Zeman, and Harlamov, the forward line, and Tretriak is the goalkeeper again. For Canada, Gary Bergman and Brad Park, the defense; the line of Bob Clark, Paul Henderson, and Ron Ellis, and Tony Esposito is playing in goal. And the Tretriak is just coming over to the group that we're having a huddle for the USSR. Here's Tretriak now, who was left out of the conference. And of course, goalkeeper Esposito for the Team Canada, 35. And this is his first chance to perform in this series. Harry Sinden is all keyed up for this one. Got quite a surprise on the first one. There's Starshinov standing there at center. He's a veteran for the Soviet team and his first game in this series. That line has cleared it back at center ice, and Canada clear the puck in. Ellis racing after it. Raglan was over on the wing, and it's called on the knocking the puck with the glove, and the face-off is going to be to the left of the Soviet goal.
One interesting thing right off the bat, Foster, to show the flexibility of the Soviet lineup. They have now moved Starchinov, a 32-year-old veteran. He started the game as the center. Harlamov, who was the game's top star in Game 1 in Montreal, moves over to left wing from right wing, and they move Zeman, another right winger, up from another line and put him in at right wing. I see the Soviets are again juggling their lineup. Looks like they've been watching too many NHL games.
They're all playing tag now. And Frank Larson and Steve Dowling are the two referees for this game. But the way they're changing players right now, they'll be doing it for the next 10 minutes.
This is all part of the game's strategy. When they had four lines, it was very difficult for the Soviets to match the Canadians' lines. But with three lines each tonight, they're obviously trying to match lines.
Well, the Soviets have Petrov, Mikhailov, and Mishikov out there. And the puck goes to center ice, coming down the right side. Mikhailov had his shot, but it was blocked by Bergman for Canada. Canada trying to come back on the left wing, a long clearing pass to Cashman. And Parisi, Cashman, and Esposito is this line for Canada.
Not to second-guess Coach Harry Sinden, but obviously in putting Wayne Cashman and J.P. Parise on the wings with Phil Esposito, I think he's looking for a little more muscle, a little more aggressiveness in the corners. And I think he'll get that out of Cashman and Parise. They have to get that puck to Phil Esposito. They know what he can do with it in front of the net, but they have to get someone who'll get it to him.
Petrov, 16 for the Soviets, lost the puck against the boards. It goes into the corner. Brad Park carrying around to Cashman, 14 for Canada. Cashman going back to the net. This is first turn for the Canadian team. Cashman at center drives the long one that's deflected by Kuskin. He tapped it, but it's recovered by Parisi, who shot it in front with Parisi failing to stop Esposito, who was really in there hard for a drive. Another drive from the side, bounces over on the far wing. Mikhailov cleared across to Petrov. Three of them going in. A bad pass is recovered by Canada. Esposito handed it right back to Petrov. And a long shot there right on by Mishikov. He's an addition to the lineup, along with both Nikolov and Blinov are out of the lineup for the Soviet team. And a flying puck into the bench is stopping the play.
There's Mishikov leaving the ice, who got that good shot An interesting thing, Foster, on that first shift with Wayne Cashman. He normally plays on the left wing with Esposito. He got pulled out of position a little bit there. He came up the right side, and that's how that play all developed. I think Cashman's going to have to discipline himself tonight to stay over in that right wing. Again, the Soviets are changing. They'll have to establish a ruling right off the bat here, Foster, because the home team generally has the last change.
There's the Soviet coach looking at it all, but not saying a word. Starshanov is at center ice. Bobroff is taking a good look there to see what was going to happen, what he'd have to do to get his lines out there. A pass on the left side. Stapleton out there for the first time for Canada on the defense. Tried to clear it over the line. Clark is behind him as Sagankov was stopped. Then another chance for Maltsev, and he couldn't get out. The Soviet trying to organize with Raglan clearing right on to Harlamov's stick. He centered in front, and Pat Stapleton blocked by Starshanov, goes back to the net. Harlamov recovers, but is bumped. Starshanov getting it back to Raglan, and the puck is knocked out by Canada with the Soviets going back behind their own goal. A long pass there. Comes over on the right side. Yakushev coming in with a pass. It was wide, and Shadman failed to follow through. Bad pass to Clark, goes down the ice. Raglan for the Soviets. Comes over onto the right side to Yakushev. Yakushev made the pass. It bounces out to center ice. Soviets in possession. Voladiev ahead at center ice to Shadrin. Then Zeman failed to get through. It's knocked out over the line by Bill White. Yakushev at center ice, cleared the pass, they keep on passing. Zeman on that far side, a hard drive by Shadrin went up into the crowd. And the Soviets are carrying right on where they left off in Montreal.
This is a terrific hockey game so far, Foster. You can see now that there's the tension. Both teams not taking any chances initially. There's a good sign. It's our game, and we're going to prove it tonight. I hope so.
Well, they're starting off with a bang. There's no question about that. And they're changing lines very frequently, which is quite different from the first game of the series. There's Starshanov, the new addition to the Soviet team. He's a veteran and has taken over on that Harlamov-Maltsev line as center ice. Now they're still jockeying for the edge. Starshanov is going to remain out there. And now they've got Maltsev on the right wing for the Soviet team. He formerly centered it. And Harlamov on the left wing. He's the star of the team, or he was in the first game. Now Canada start to move up over the line to center ice. Over the line, a pass on the right wing. Ellis took the shot as Clark had passed to him, and they ended up right on the doorstep beside Petriak.
Bobby Clark made a very good move on this play, right around the red line. He comes up the ice, beating that Russian forward who came in to check, passes the puck off, and Ellis, as he can do so well, gets the shot away very quickly, but it was off the goal. Tretiak loves it and smothers it for the whistle. There's a good look at the young goalie, Tretiak, only 20 years old. He's had 4 years of international experience, and I can honestly say I can't believe the improvement in him over the last time I saw him, which was in 1969. He's come out and he's learned how to play the angles. He used to be strictly a reflex goaltender. He now has learned how to come out, cut down the angles. He clears the puck well, and he's given the Soviet team a lot of stability in goal. There's a good look at Starchinov, 32 years old, a veteran of 10 years. I played against him in 1963 when he was just getting started, and he would be the Soviet team's Jean Beliveau if they had one. He's strong, and he's had a lot of international experience.
They're getting ready for the face-off to the left of Petriak, and they can't determine just who should have the right to make the player change that sticks. Frank Mahovlich is having words with the referee, Frank Larson. The other referee, Steve Dowling, stands back by the blue line. Canada will face off in the Soviet zone. Clark will face off with Starshanov. The puck is knocked back to the blue line. A shot. Oh, Tretiak stopped that drive from Savard, who's on the defense with LaPointe. The puck goes back with a goal. Second puck failed to get away. Oh, the pass went wide as Canada is pressing hard for that first goal. A long shot went wide. Tretiak didn't even see it. From the corner, Henderson trying to dig it out. They jam in there, and there was a shoving duel. Nothing really happened. Ellis was standing by talking to Starshanov. With the score, Canada nothing and the Soviets nothing. This is game 2 from Toronto. All set for the face-off to the right of Tretiak in the Soviet goal. Mikita, who always gets that draw, got it again, but they left that puck. Yakushev gets a break, a 2-on-1, a shot, and the drive went wide. That was a close call for Canada. Now Seaman gets that to the corner. Yakushev centered it out, and the Soviet player was knocked down. Shadwin. Canada recovers. A quick pass at center right. Mahovlich, 27, going in on that wing, was blocked by Paladiev. Puck is shot down the ice. Stan Mikita going back to get it. LaPointe is on the defense for Canada as the pass goes over the line, but Mahovlich, Cornoyer couldn't get away. Now LaPointe tried it, but Mikita was offside on that right wing.
I think Mikita will definitely help this lineup. There's a look at the Prime Minister of Canada, Pierre Elliott Trudeau, his lovely wife on the right-hand side of him. Right-hand side of us, excuse me.
Now here goes the usual act of changing players, and they keep on changing and changing, but nobody seems to know for sure where it's all going to end.
There's a good look at that big Russian center, Petrov.
From the face-off, Canada recovers momentarily. Cashman on the forward line. Cleared it back to the defense to Park. Park coming up at center. Was blocked at the blue line. There's a chance on a shot by Esposito, who's out there with Cashman and Parisi. Puck goes into the Canadian zone. Esposito played it carefully back of the net. Canada trying to come out. Gusev couldn't stop him. He did finally, and the Soviets come right back at center. It's Mishakov, the spare player of the first game, getting a regular turn out there tonight. Park again, number 5 for Canada. Pulls away from Mihailov. Up the center ice to Cashman, and they fail to get any farther. Esposito shot it over the line. Parisi fights for the puck with Pushkin. Pushkin couldn't control him. There's Lina right in front of the net. And Tretiak made the save on Esposito. Cashman starts shoving a bit in front of the net.
Here's on the replay, you can see Petrov losing his skates, and of course Phil Esposito, he's always around that goal mouth, and he got a good backhand. Tretiak had to come out and make a big save.
Tretiak having lots of work in the early minutes of this game. No score. Bergman on the defense now for Canada. Shoots it around. Gusev tried to clear. He couldn't. They're fighting for that puck. Cashman centered it, and it's recovered by Mihailov. Coming down with Mishakov to the defensive shot. Esposito turned it aside to the corner where Park is trying to get back of his own net, clearing on the left wing. Shot out to center, and it was stopped by Gusev. Petrov drives the puck over the Canadian line. Park again takes it to safety, back of the net, over to Parisi, 22. Parisi at center, cleared on the right side, right in on goal, and Tretiak made a beautiful save on that shot from the right wing by Ron Ellis.
I watched them break up the ice. A beautiful rink-wide pass by Parisi. Ronnie Ellis into the top of the circle there, and that's prime scoring area. Tretiak came out a long way to cut down the angle and smother the puck.
Ellis really showed a burst of speed. He was injured in the first game. He injured his neck, and it wasn't known whether he would start in this game, but he was really flying, so there's nothing wrong with him. Clark Henderson and Ellis out there for Canada. Shot right on Petriak, and Henderson tipped at him with a stick, and Petriak was going to retaliate and changed his mind.
Canada's had to have
Ron
had the
Ellis
best of the play so far, Foster. Good look at Ron Ellis there.
More changes, and they take quite a time to decide who they're going to have out there. 13:36. No score in the game. Now Canada makes a last-moment change. Peter Mahovlich, number 20. He's an extra forward in this game. And Goldsworthy is on the right wing as Clark is going to do double duty as center for Canada. Clark is 28. Bill White on the defense with Stapleton as the Soviets recover that puck. Yakushev coming down the right wing, a very cagey player, is stopped by Stapleton. They recover again. It's back to the blue line. A fake shot. It goes to a pass. They still control that puck, that Yakushev. Into the corner. Back again to Paladiev. And it's stopped by Canada. And it's down the left wing for Peter Mahovlich, who was stopped before he could get over the line. Zeman, number 11 for the Soviet. Back pass to Paladiev. It's up to center ice. Zeman going in. A shot. It bounces in front. Stapleton knocked his man over. Zeman is knocked over again. The puck is still in front at the blue line. Paladiev got his shot wide of the net. That was close. Goldsworthy shot it out to center. Caron to Clark, 28. And the puck comes back to Stapleton for Canada. A long shot. Lyapkin bringing it back for the Soviets. Over to Zeman, who missed it. Stapleton carrying back for Canada. On the left wing, Frank Mahovlich going in, but Cournoyer went offside. With the score, Canada nothing and the Soviets nothing. This is game 2 from Toronto.
There's a look at Stan Mikita just leaving the ice, and I think he's a good addition to this team because there's no question that Stan Mikita in his career has probably been one of the best centermen for puck control in hockey. Of course, against the Soviets, what you're trying to do is to control the puck against them because that is basically their game. It's a game of puck control. And with players like Stan Mikita in your lineup, you have a lot better chance of keeping the puck a lot longer yourself.
They don't seem to be able to get this player change right. There's quite an argument going on. They keep changing back and forth. Generally, it's the home club that has the advantage of the last man, but you never can tell on what the decision these officials will make because of the difference in the rules.
Foster, I think the problem here is who exactly is the home team, because the Canadians are at home for 4 games. They played in Montreal where maybe they were the home team. Now they have to establish, and I'm sure the referees are going to have to make a ruling at the end of this period as to who exactly is the home team in this particular game.
I think we'll be here till midnight if they don't.
There's Vsevolod Bobrov, the head coach of the Soviet team, and there's a look at Harry Sinden, who is trying to establish his team's authority in this matter.
Stan Mikita is going to end up at center, and Cournoyer is on the right wing. Mahovlich, Frank Mahovlich on the left. There's the first real bunt by Kuskin. Mahovlich took it, and the puck goes at center ice with Starchanov, stopped by a Canadian player, and the puck goes right back into the Canadian zone. It's Cournoyer that tried to stop his man. Over on that far wing, Mikhailov shoots it in, and here the player changes again as the play goes right on, and that's what they're going to do all night again. Frank Mahovlich on the move, 27, away from Starchanov. A shot goes wide off a stick, and the Soviet breakout. Here's Maltsev coming in on the right side, but his teammate Bishakov went over the line ahead of him, and it was offside. Maltsev got a jolt there from Cashman, so there may be fireworks in this second game. It didn't erupt until the latter part of the game in Montreal, and then very minor. But now they're showing as if they might stir things up, and Cashman has been very prominent, number 14. That's Mihailov, and Petrov is appealing to the referee there. That's Petrov, 16. Pretty fair hockey player. And apparently right now he's a pretty good talker. Now they've cooled out a bit for this next session. Petrov, Mihailov, and Mishakov. Oh, here's another change. Ellis and Henderson go over to the bench. Esposito, Phil Esposito with Cashman and Parise, the forward line for Canada. No score in the game. Play is called immediately. And the face-off is going to be in that one center spot at the blue line, just outside the Canada line. That's Tretriak keeping moving all the time in the Soviet goal. Kuzkin, number 4, drives the puck in, back of the goal. Esposito kept it there. Savard is starting back for Canada. Esposito failed to get away on the pass. Cashman cuts back into his own zone. Lost it to Petrov. Petrov coming in on the wing. Here they're closing in front of the goal. And Parise saved that one by blocking. Now Esposito comes tearing down. The puck got away from him. Kusev back to the net. Missed a jolt. Canada recovers. The shot went wide as it went off Tretriak's stick. Cashman had the chance. Cashman knocked it back. Parise centered it. Lapointe was not in a position to stop it, and Savard gets the forward pass. Esposito missed the return pass, and Kuzkin cleared in front of his own net. Soviets starting back. Mihailov, as they change players on the goal, Yakushev rushes into the corner. He's a very dangerous player. Bergman got a piece of him. Then he bumped into Shadrin. They shoot it on the boards. Here's a defense player, Voladiev, trying to come in, getting it back to the blue line to Liapkin. A shot. Oh, it bounced off Esposito's skate, but right across the goal mouth. Right in front again. Canada is under pressure. The puck is knocked over on the wing, and the play is stopped. Looks like the first penalty of the game.
You can see here Canada is under a lot of pressure. Liapkin shot gets partially blocked off the corner, but it deflects right across in front of the goal. Now watch Zimin break the check there and put it right back between the defenseman's leg. It was only a good effort by Bergman there that the possible chance right in front of the goal. Now Canada's scrambling right here. And when you start to scramble, that's when the penalties come.
Time 10:08.
Brad Park, number 5 for Canada, gets the first penalty of this game, the second game of the series. Park for cross-checking at 10:08.
Here's a look at some of the players, Dale Talon and Rod Gilbert, both who are sitting there anxiously.
Now then Canada will play a man short. Stapleton out there with Bill White, Stan Mikita, and Peter Mahovlich trying to kill off the penalty. As the puck goes down the ice, Sagankov, number 7 for the Soviet, cleared ahead to Maltsev, who was stopped by Stapleton. Mahovlich overskated the puck. Here comes that top star, Harlamov, number 17. He gets his shot wide. He bounces over to Maltsev. Maltsev stands there. Set right front. Oh, a great save there. The best of the night by Esposito as that puck came right in on the corner. That was a close call. Peter Mahovlich, 20, trying to get that puck, dragging it around, goes to center. He's out there now with Frank Mahovlich. Peter Mahovlich fighting with that puck, finally knocked it back to Bill White, giving a great exhibition of killing off a penalty. And then he also bumped into Harlamov for good measure. Sagankov gets it back to Maltsev. Maltsev comes in with a shot wide. Lutsenko out there for the first time for the Soviets. Here's a fan shot by Sagankov, giving the puck to Clark with Ellis. Ellis going back to the Soviet goal. Soviets recover with Starshinov, getting it across to Lutsenko. Starshinov at center. Starshinov is 8. And Maltsev couldn't control that puck. It goes right down to Tretiak, and the Canadian team checking brilliantly. Clark rags that puck in the corner. Starchinov bumps into him. Gusev starts shoving, and the sticks are high, but nothing is developing. With the score, Canada nothing, and the Soviets nothing. This is game 2 from Toronto. 12 seconds left in Park's penalty. 12 seconds. Face off in the Soviet zone. Mahavlich tapped it to Gusev. Gusev clearing ahead now to Mishakov. They're moving up with Petrov. Failing to get a shot. He recovered from Stapleton. Goes to the side. And the pass to Mihailov was intercepted. Stapleton couldn't get past center ice when covered by Mihailov. Number 13. He must be courageous to carry that number. Cashman on that far wing with Esposito now. Mahavlich on a player change. Mishakov coming down. The teams are at full strength. The pass to Petrov went astray. And the Soviets aren't playing as sharply as they did in Montreal so far. They're not getting their passes to work, and they're getting pressurized. There's Cashman and Esposito fighting for that puck. Savard recovers, going in with a shot. Oh, and it's nearly deflected by Esposito. Soviets cleared out at center. Savard, 23, plays it off the boards. No score in the game. 6:54 left in the first period. Savard in there first. Petrov decided not to go in deep. A quick pass over on the wing. Here they're coming in. Greasy stopped, cleared a pass to Cashman, and it failed to click. Mihailov cleared it out at center ice, and Cashman shot it over on the boards. And Esposito's going in and waited too long and lost the puck. Esposito breaks it up temporarily, gets it again. Coming in with Greasy. Here's Esposito in, and he couldn't break through the defense. Petrov covered, and Kuskin shoots it down the ice. And the Canadian team are showing far more power than they did in Montreal the first game.
The Canadian team definitely dominated play there, and Serge Savard, who's just skating over to the bench now, has to be a key factor in being able to keep pressure on the Soviets in their end. Savard, with that excellent ability to control the puck, has got Team Canada up the ice a lot faster with a lot better control. There's a look at Brad Park.
This is a different hockey game, the way they're hitting each other, and the Team Canada has had a definite edge in the play so far. Bergman keeps that puck in. Gladiev nearly lost it. Now Zeman breaking out for the Soviet to center ice with Yakushev with them. Going in at Park, played it over on the right wing to Ellis. The pass is too far. Henderson tried to bump his man. Here's Clark coming in on the left side, and Tretiak kicked that one out. Another pass to Ellis, bounces off. A long pass to Yakushev was grabbed off there. That was a close call, as Park just was able to get a stick on that one. Zeman, number 11 for the Soviet at center. Over the line, bumped into a stout defense. Shadron was on the right side going after the Canadian player. They jam against the boards. Gladiev getting it to Yakushev, who's chased off by Bergman. Here's a pass, here's a shot. Oh, that went wide. That drive was by Liapkin. Puck rolls up to center ice. Gladiev, number 26, turning with Liapkin. And there's the star, Harlamov, of the first game with Yakushev coming back at center ice. Maltsev went into the corner, more bumping, and here's a threatening move over on the far side. Little talk going on.
It was interesting there. You see Tretiak coming back out. He was off the ice there for a good 10-15 seconds. The Soviets had 6 attackers in Team Canada's end.
Henderson is getting the penalty that caused all the commotion there. It was one of those delayed penalties. And Tretiak did skate off to give them an odd man.
2 minutes for tripping. The time 15:19.
15-19.
Pénalité du Canada, numéro 19, Paul Anderson. 2 minutes pour Paul fait trébucher à 15 minutes, 19 secondes.
They're getting ready for the face-off. Henderson off for tripping at 15-19. Starshinov is talking to the referee. But there was quite a scuffle there on the boards. It looked as if 2 or 3 might have been under fire there.
I think an interesting thing so far is Team Canada is living up to their name tonight. Definitely playing better as a team. And they're also managing, through their strong team play, to isolate the Soviets. They are very strong as units, but if you can isolate their players down to individuals, you can neutralize them.
There's Tretiak, number 20, in goal, the 20-year-old for the Soviet. There's Stan Mikita getting ready for the face-off. He's arguing about it with Starshinov. Now they're going to put Mikita out of the face-off zone. And brother Peter Mahovlich goes in for the face-off, and they stop that one. Canada have had both penalties so far. Park for cross-checking at 10:08. Henderson for tripping at 15:19. 4:40 left in the first period. No score in the game. And the officials are really under pressure in this one. Now then, the Canadian team decided to make a last-moment change, and Mikita nearly tripped over Ragulin. I don't know who did that whether it was on purpose or not, but there's a lot of feeling creeping into this game. The puck rolls up over the line. Peter Mahovlich doing a great job. Was tied right up by Sagankov there, who seemed to be holding him. The puck goes into the Soviet zone. Sagankov bumped the Canadian player, Clark, who's out there with Peter Mahovlich. Here comes Harlamov for the Soviet at center ice. They're giving him a tough ride and finally knocked him down. And Starshinov picked a long shot there that went wide. Starshinov again set right in front of the goal. And again, great goalkeeping by Tony Esposito. Another long shot right on. Esposito stopped that one. And we're getting playoff goalkeeping from a Canadian goalkeeper, Tony Esposito. Another shot goes wide. Peter Mahovlich, 20 for Canada, center ice, being hounded by Harlamov. Soviet have the odd man advantage. 56 seconds left in the penalty. Maltsev goes over the line, was dumped, and this is one difference in this game. They're really hitting. And the Canadian team playing as a team. Sagankov took a long shot. It went high. Baltsev into the corner. Number 10 is stopped. It rolls out to Frank Mahovlich. And Peter Mahovlich getting relief from Esposito. And both teams are changing on the go. 27 seconds left in the penalty. Sagankov gets it across on the right wing. Mihайлov passed on into the corner to Mishakov. He shoots it around back to the net, and the puck is shot down the ice, and that's allowable in international rules because there's a penalty. 6 seconds left in the Canadian penalty. Here comes Mishakov, passing to Petrov on the far side. A shot, and it rolls right off to the side. A great save again by the goalkeeper. Another pass, and Bill White shoots it away. Canada at full strength. And the Canadian team decide to change on the go. No score with 2:22 left in the first period. And a real battle all the way. Petrov took a long shot from a way out. They have Mihайлov and Mishakov out there as their forward line. The Soviet changed 2 players on their lineup. Quick pass on the left side. Canada on the attack. Coming in, Lapointe trying to get in front. Lost that puck finally. With Mishakov making a rink-wide pass to Petrov. He got a jolt for his pains. Puck goes back to the net. Savard trying to get away from his check and stopped. The Soviets certainly could back check. Savard is chased into the corner, 23. Failed to shoot it out. Petrov, 16, goes after it. Mihailov was waiting, but Canada intercepted and lost it right in the same move. A return pass by Mihailov went to the corner, Canada getting it. Canada on the move at center. Parisi was offside on Clark's long pass. With the score, Canada nothing and the Soviets nothing. This is game 2 from Toronto. Shadron will take the face-off for the Soviet. Zeman is on the wing. And here go the changes again. Yakushev is on the left wing. Zeman is on the right wing. So that they still haven't got that straight. They have 1 minute and 12 seconds left in the first period. No score. And on the defense, Lyapkin and Poladev are out there for the Soviet. Bergman on the Canadian defense. Pass. Got it over on the wing. Bergman with Cornoyer swerving around on the far wing. Frank Mahovlich picking his way out past the Park and went behind him. And Park recovers. The big difference in this game has been in the back checking and the hitting. What a difference. Up to Mahovlich. He passes back to Cornoyer. And Park was bumped and lost it. A race for the puck. Zeman comes after it. Bergman took him out. Then falls. Zeman gets it again. They have a man in front, Yakushev. The puck goes back to the net. Yakushev watched by Park. And they're really hitting. Puck is recovered by Canada. Stan Mikita was dumped by the Soviet player Yakushev, and the play goes right on. Frank Mahovlich down the left wing. Mikita was hurt on that play. Mahovlich was dumped by Zeman, and they're getting away with a lot of illegal checks, and the bell goes. You can't even hear it for the crowd. And Mahovlich dumped Palladia, and they're really working up to a boiling pitch. Well, that was quite a first period of hockey. There were only 2 penalties in the period, but it was a rough, tough, nasty period all the way through. Park got the first one for cross-checking at 10:08, and Paul Henderson went off for tripping at 15:19. The Soviets have yet to catch the eye of the referee, but they've certainly been hitting the Canadian players with fair ease and abandon. There was no scoring, but there were several great chances to score, and I believe the Soviets had the better chances, although the numbers were just the same. But that one play with Harlamov shooting at the Canadian goalkeeper, Tony Esposito, was really the most remarkable save I've seen in many, many times. What do you think of it, Brian?
Well, Foster, there was a perfect setup for just a routine tip-in into the goal. Esposito came from nowhere. He was glued to the post because Maltsev, you weren't sure when he drove in from the right wing whether he was going to try to beat Esposito on the short side. He slipped it right across the goal mouth, and Harlamov had to have been the most surprised player in the rink because he thought he was just tipping it into the goal, and Esposito's pad came out of nowhere and kicked it right back out.
Just to help you on the lineup, Clark, Ellis, and Henderson make up one line for Canada. Stan Mikita, Cornoyer, and Frank Mahovlich make up the second line. And Phil Esposito, Cashman, and Parisi are on the so-called third line, but not in that order necessarily. Goldsworthy and Peter Mahovlich are extra forwards. Brad Park and Jerry Bergman play together. Lapointe and Savard have been playing together. White and Stapleton also a pair. The shots on goal, Canada outshot the Soviet 10-7. Canada 10 shots on goal, the Soviets 7. But it was a very close, hard-fought first period, and it's a question whether the Canadian team will have the stamina to carry through that hard hitting.
There's no question tonight that Team Canada is playing basically a much better hockey game than they did in Montreal. And of course, most of these players have already played one game, and they're now starting to get the feel of it, and they've now removed any of the unknowns against the Soviet.
Stan Mikita is very incensed at I assume that some of the infractions, as well as the fact that the player changes, have almost become a joke at times, but they may have settled that in the intermission between the first and second periods. There's Tony Esposito, who's been a standout for Canada, and he's really been remarkable. Tretiak has been very good too, and you see how he works out all the time. He never stops. He must skate miles even though he's in goal, but he never stops.
Tretiak has a birdcage type of face mask.
That's there's a difference in masks there. That's Esposito's. So you see there's a complete difference of opinion even on the masks. The players are just standing around there waiting.
What we're seeing here at the start of the second period, Foster, is each team now is juggling a game for that position. This will happen. They've got 3 lines each, and obviously both coaches have very strong feelings as to which line they want playing against which line. And now the referee is going to have to intervene, put down his foot, and establish who has the last change.
Well, Shadron is out there for the Soviet. No, it's Petrov, 16. Well, they've changed so many times. Finally, Petrov remains out there, and Esposito is out there for Canada. The Soviet to the right, Canada to the left, Bergman and Park on the Canadian defense. Esposito went over the line, but the puck is back with Cashman. 14 going over on that left wing. Kuskin stopped him, then Bergman shoots it over the line, and they're very cautious now. And the odd jab every time they meet. Gusev, Esposito took a shot, but the drive was wide, and he's a little erratic in his shooting. Puck goes all the way back into the Canadian zone. Park played it into the corner to Bergman, who didn't expect it. He shot it out. It goes down the ice. Risi is on that left wing for Canada. Cashman, 14 on the right. Esposito at center. Now Mishakov cleared it to Mikhail. Down now at the right side. A shot. Oh, a nice save. Another shot. And Esposito covered on that angle. And we're getting tremendous goalkeeping by Esposito in the Canadian net. Cashman goes in back of the Soviet goal, cutting around, being checked by Kuskin. It's cleared out by Mishakov. A quick break by Mikhailov, who's coming in on goal. A shot. Oh, and another save by this Esposito. Is miraculous the way he's been making the save. Phil Esposito goes down, is upset. There'll be a penalty. Gusev upset him. The goalkeeper skates off. Canadian team have an extra forward. Mikita out there as they jam in the corner. They still have the puck. It's back to the goal. Mikita's trying to center it out into the corner. A shot back of the net to Mikita. He races after it. Back to the blue line to Stapleton to Mikita. Still keeping that puck. Back to Park. Here's a shot. Right on. Esposito couldn't get the rebound, but they still retain possession of the puck. And they're showing real puck control. Finally, Petrov came through to stop the play.
Definite penalty here, and really Esposito had him beaten. Look at the long swoop. He gets around to the outside, and had Gusev not tripped him, Esposito, only being at the dot in the circle, still had lots of room to cut back in towards the goal. And Gusev goes to the penalty box for 2 minutes.
Penalty to number 2, Alexander
That was a terrific demonstration there of puck control by Team Canada.
2:07.
They had the Russians running around there. They were looking for that one good scoring opportunity because they were pretty sure if they got the shot on goal and didn't score, that Tretiak would probably smother any rebound.
This is the first time in the game that the Soviet will have to have a man short. Gusev is off for tripping at 2:07 of the second period, giving Canada the first opportunity on the power play. Esposito is at center. Bernoyer is out there with Mahovlich and Stan Mikita and Park. Raglan failed to clear it out. Park blocked it. Esposito backhanded one, a weak one that went wide. Canada keep it in there. Makita's pass is intercepted. Maharlov comes down fast. Harlamov coming in on goal, and he shot wide. Very dangerous. He rolled that one. He's knocked over finally. Canada attacking again. Esposito clear to Cournoyer. Back to Makita. Shot! Oh, and that was a sensational save by Tretiak. The Soviets shoot it down the ice. And we're getting some tremendous hockey out there. Park covering Harlamov, one of the big stars of the Soviet team. Here comes the attack. Esposito over on the right side to LaPointe. And it was offside as Cournoyer went in there in advance.
Good play by LaPointe. LaPointe was going up with a full head of steam. He passed the puck off to Cournoyer, who was standing right on the line. And Cournoyer, in setting it up to just feed it back to LaPointe, brought it back out over the blue line.
LaPointe is playing on the defense with Park. LaPointe has that puck, 25, going over the line. Here's his shot, a hard one. Tretiak decided to cover up after dropping it. Esposito was standing right beside.
Tretiak looks a little bit like some of the National Hockey League goalies who they can assess the play pretty quickly, whether a rebound will get them in trouble.
The puck comes back to the blue line. Canada in possession. Pass to Mahavlich. Bounced off his stick. Cournoyer tried to help him out, but Mahavlich shot it back to the net. Raglan gives the puck to Sagankov, who shoots it down the ice. Esposito played it safely back of the net. Soviet recover though, and shoot it back to Raglan, number 5. Raglan just stands there. The Soviet are still a man short, 25 seconds left in the penalty. It's over the line. Soviet, there's a grab there. Alva Henderson coming in with Esposito, a shot! Oh, another good save as the puck is shot down the ice by the Soviet. There's some tremendous goalkeeping in this game. Oh, they passed right in front of the net. Chadron, oh, and he was upset by LaPointe just as he went to shoot. That was a close call for Canada. Down the right side. And the teams are at full strength. But the Soviet nearly came close on that one. With the score, Canada nothing and the Soviets nothing. This is game 2 from Toronto.
There's a look at Ragulin, the big Russian defenseman. The penalty-killing unit for the Soviets tonight, Foster, is featured by 3 of the 4 players up front, all being over 30 years old.
Bench minor.
They're having a bench penalty for arguing with the referee. There's that group over there, Raglan and Paladiev standing by with Sagankov. There are only 2 Canadian players. They have the interpreter there to help out, but the Soviets still don't understand. They got a bench penalty, no doubt, for arguing and delaying the game, and they're certainly doing that. But the referee is doing his best with the interpreter to make him understand what has happened. So that'll even the score in penalties 2 apiece. And we'll have to wait and see who's designated to serve the bench penalty. That means that the Soviets have had 2 penalties. Canada have had 2. There's no score. Many close chances. Remarkable goalkeeping. And hard-fought contest all the way through.
Foster, and mentioning about the great goaltending, at the end of each of these 8 games, a panel of writers and broadcasters will select the outstanding player from each team. Each player will receive a ring created especially for this series by the CBC and CTV television networks and the sponsors of these hockey telecasts. The presentation will take place immediately after the game on the ice.
4:13 is the time of the bench penalty, and it's going to be served by Zeman.
And that look at Tony Esposito in in the Canadian goal. I think so far he has to be the top player for Team Canada.
He's had the most work, there's no question about that, but they've all been really giving everything they have out there, and it's a greatly improved performance over the first game. Even the Soviets are that much better. Now we have another with Goldsworthy on the right wing, Clark at center, Henderson on the left wing, as Stapleton cleared over to Henderson. Savard is on the defense with Stapleton. Puck is in Canada zone. Stapleton picking his way up to the blue line. The Soviets a man short, a long drive, and it's offside, and the goalkeeper was bumped there by Goldsworthy, and now they're starting to mix it up over there. The referee gets between them. They just bumped or collided, and Goldsworthy was very upset by it.
You see how this develops here. Tretiak goes out. Now he's got him lined up. He tries to cut to his inside. He can't avoid the check. Brings the elbow up. Of course, Goldsworthy hasn't been playing that much, and when you sit on that bench, you get fairly intense, and when you get out on the ice, you're liable to do that.
Vladiev on the defense for the Soviets, cleared the puck into the Canadian zone. Stapleton for Canada at center, over the line, closing in, a pass by Clark went astray. Then Petrov is given a jolt against the board. Clark trying to dig it out. They pile up back to the net. Goldsworthy gets into it. It's back to Savard, who cleared into the corner, and Mishakov drives it down the ice. Mishakov cleared that one down. Starchinov is out there with him. Number 8. Canada on the attack again with the man advantage. No score in the game. Savard coming in. Took his shot. Tretiak covered the short side perfectly. Soviet cleared out to center ice. Savard trying it again. Goes over on that left wing. And the Canadians are changing on the goal. Frank Mahovlich is out there with Esposito as the Soviet cleared back into the Canadian zone. Soviets changing too. Esposito missed the pass. Cornoyer couldn't get near it. And it's Mishakov coming over on that right wing to center, number 12. He's there with Shadrin, and he failed to get a shot on goal. Cornoyer down with Esposito and Mahovlich. Esposito wasn't in position. Shadrin cleared it to the side. Mishakov shot it down the ice, and it's called.
Here's a look at this tremendous crowd in Maple Leaf Gardens. There's not an empty seat here, and they're just as receptive to this game as they were to Game 1 in Montreal. Very intense-looking spectator. Of course, with no score in the game so far, Foster, the intensity will build up with each passing minute, because that first goal then becomes all that more important.
Yes, you can feel the tension mounting all the time, although it's been at fever pitch right from the beginning. The Soviet team are at full strength again, so each team have had 2 penalties, and they've been able to kill them off. Esposito remaining at center ice for Canada. Got the draw, but right back to his brother, and the puck is shot by Tony Esposito to center ice. Esposito took it off Zeman and fired a shot that is recovered by Luchenko. Up the center, again Parisi out there now with Park, gets it over to Bergman. Esposito missed the pass. Luchenko gets it over to Zeman. Zeman coming in with a backhand pass that failed to click. Petrov grabbed the Esposito. Cashman goes in and carries his man down, and he wasn't a bit particular how he took Luchenko out of the play. Luchenko kicked at the puck to get it out. It's brought in by Cashman, a rugged performer. Esposito was dumped on the play, and it looks as if there's going to be a penalty to the Soviet. The goalkeeper's leaving. Yeah, here's Esposito. Let's go!
Watch the work that Cashman does here. He does an excellent job of getting Phil Esposito the puck. Now look at the quick move across the goal mouth. And he jams it in the far side. Absolutely super goal by Phil Esposito. Never leave him on the doorstep. But Wayne Cashman has to get credit. He fought and fought and fought for that puck. And he got it across to the man he knew could do something with it. And Phil Esposito made no mistake.
Assist number 5, Brad Park, and number 14, Wayne Cashman. Time 7:14.
Le but du Canada compté par le numéro 7, Phil Esposito, avec l'aide du numéro 5, Brad Park, et du numéro 14, Wayne Cashman, à 7 minutes 14 secondes.
Canada have drawn first blood in this second game of the series. They lead now 1-0. Phil Esposito from Park and Cashman at 7:14. And they really had to fight hard for that one. Now then, Yakushev cleared over on the right side to Zeman. Frank Mahovlich goes back to the goal into the opposite corner. Cleared ahead to Cornoye, who failed to click. Then Mahovlich from the corner, went wide there, and the puck goes back to the net. Here's a shot by Stan Mikita, caught easily by Tretriak, and the face-off in the corner. With the score, Canada won, and the Soviets don't score. This is Game 2 from Toronto.
Here's the leader of the opposition, Mr. Stanfield, with Ontario's Premier, Bill Davis.
From the face-off, the puck goes loose in the Soviet zone. Canada pressing hard while they lead 1-0. Clark getting it back. It's deflected, and Maltsev got it up to the Canadian line. Now Henderson across to Clark. Ellis rushing into the corner. Ellis set it right in front. Oh, and Tretriak had that one go right up his arm, and it stayed out. Ellis was the real marksman there.
What a difference a goal makes. Look at Ronnie Ellis break in here now. Lots of confidence. He knows he can get that puck. Puts it right out in front. Bobby Clark in a good position for a rebound that never developed.
From the face-off, here's Ellis getting a shot. And it's close with Henderson rushing in. Tretriak covered up in the goal crease.
Another follow-up here. Now, Team Canada have got the weight off their shoulders. They've scored first, and they've loosened up now, and they are playing super hockey.
Canada playing every man up. The Soviets shoot it out against the boards. They're artists at that, so it doesn't go down the ice. Savard, 23, over onto the left wing to Henderson, across to Clark. Ellis was waiting, but Clark fell over and missed his chance. Varlamov tried a clearing pass. It comes out offside. And it's going to be called practically at center ice.
I have to say something about Serge Savard. Savard has been the best addition to the defense tonight. And there's a good look at Starchinov, 32-year-old. He's the veteran of the Soviet team.
From the face-off, the puck slides into the Canadian zone. It's lobbed right out quickly, and Starchinov got a jolt from Clark. Raglan cleared it over on the side. And the pass is left there. Clark getting it back on the right side, and they're certainly not sparing the horses the way they're bumping each other. Now in on that side again, a pass right in front. Nikita couldn't get a shot. Here's Clark's shot, left wide of the net. It bounces high in the air, and a jamming session around the Soviet goal. Ellis and Starchinov shoving a bit, then they come in. Clark comes in from the behind to cause a regular congestion around the net. Here's a shoving duel, and they're getting a bit obstreperous there, and the two officials are trying to cool them out.
I can tell you one thing about Starchinov. At 32 years old, he's been international hockey for 10 years, and he is just like a Gordie Howe out in the ice. Hit him once during a game, and you'll have to watch out for the rest of the evening.
I was always under the impression that international rules wouldn't allow any rough stuff in a game, Brian, but I don't think I've ever seen an NHL game with more of the old gusto than this one.
Well, as they say, Foster, they've come a long way, baby.
Raglan, number 5, he's quite a campaigner. He's another veteran of the Soviet team, and he's been handing it out and taking it right through. Stan Mikita at center. Here's Mahovlich's shot, and it was stopped at the defense there. That was a hard drive by Frank Mahovlich. He wound up, and Lyapkin was the one who made the stop. Trepchiak, I doubt, could have seen it. Cornoyer is on the right, Mahovlich on the left with Stan Mikita. Yakushev clears back of his own goal. Varadiev played it, but not out. Pat Stapleton keeping it, but it's back to center. Now Stan Mikita over that line to Mahovlich, and the shot is wide. Bill White keeps it in the corner. Lyapkin plays it over to Varadiev. Stapleton again keeps it in, and the Canadian team are keeping a power play on them, even though the teams are full strength. Varadiev finally shoots it down the ice. Esposito played it himself. It's cleared out to Mikita, went off his skate, and Varadiev shoots it out to center ice. The Soviets aren't having the same freedom with their passing. Mahovlich tested Trepchiak with a long drive. Here's Yakushev coming up over to Zeman, who can't get up in time. Zeman had it, and he didn't know it. It hit his skate. Another shot wide of the Canadian goal. Yakushev centering it at the blue line, and here comes the passing play of the Soviets. Bill White broke it up, gets it over to Frank Mahovlich, but Esposito going in front of that. Cornoyer fired a shot that was wide. Now Bill White gets a chance. His shot hit the Soviet. Yakushev coming up to Zeman to Yakushev. He's right in, and the drive was wide. And you can tell by the Soviet shooting that they're taking a pounding, and they haven't got the confidence that they were showing in the first game.
You'll see this now. The Canadian team has gotten trapped. They have a 2-on-1, but Whitey Stapleton plays it beautifully. He forces him to shoot that puck wide. Frank Mahovlich comes in behind the net, and he traps it. Now Stapleton plays the 2-on-1 just perfectly. He forces Yakushev really to shoot wide, because when he's sprawling like that, it was either in his path or it had to go off the net. Frank Mahovlich tries to trap it behind the net, and it slips under the back.
They've got the Petrov line out there with Mikhailov and Mishakov. Canada have Bergman and Park on the defense. Esposito at center. He seems to be out there a lot. Parise on one wing. Cashman on the other. The puck is up over the line, and Park overskated it. Mishakov comes right back. Pass to the right wing. Bergman stopped Petrov without even touching him. He made a run at him. Esposito picking his way out. Cleared it on the left wing. Cashman going into the corner after it. Cashman manhandles Luchenko. Canada still has the puck. Esposito to Cashman. Right in front of the net to Esposito. He shoved around. He got that puck out in front. He's a hard man to take out. Puck comes back to center. Bergman shot it, and Kuskin broke it up. Petrov coming in on the side. The drive bounced over to the boards, and it shot down the ice. It'll be called.
The Soviets aren't forechecking like they did in Game 1, and consequently, it's giving Team Canada better control.
With the score, Canada 1 and the Soviets no score. This is Game 2 from Toronto. All set for the face-off. Starshinov for the Soviet. Harlamov and Maltsev on this line as the puck is recovered by Canada. Savard on the defense is given a jolt. They carry right on. Ellis and Henderson with Clark. Puck is bouncing to center and back again to Savard, who fooled Harlamov. Played it to center. Henderson to Clark. Here's the shot, and he hit the side of the net. On the outside, Maltsev comes tearing back on that far wing, number 10. Starshinov on the other side. A back pass intercepted by side. Clark lobbed it into the corner. And it's knocked right back to the blue line, intercepted by Maltsev as LaPointe tried to clear. Here's Harlamov centering it back to Maltsev, who missed it. And the Soviets aren't keeping in the position they did in the first game. Clark over the line, cuts back, center. It rolls out in front. LaPointe is forced into the corner by Sagankov, who's a very strong skater, and he holds it in the corner while they jam around.
It's interesting against the Soviet tonight. What Team Canada are doing tonight that they didn't do in Game 1 is they are breaking up the unit, the system, and they're playing them better on a one-to-one situation, and our players can handle the Soviets better on a one-to-one situation than they can as a unit.
Canada won. Soviet no score. Mahovlich. Frank Mahovlich failed to get that shot. It's up to center ice. Zeman coming up with Yakushev on the left. 15 into the corner. Back of the net. The Soviet player fell. Goes to the blue line. Vladiev clearing into the corner. They're coming with Zeman from the side. Right in front of the net. A shot went wide as they had a good chance there with Vladiev in position, along with Lyapkin. There's a Yakushev bumped into a player and went down. It was Kornoye. Mahovlich couldn't get the pass and bounced over his stick. Zeman, number 11 for the Soviet. Nikita got a piece of him, but he kept on going. Then over to Yakushev. Here's the shot, wide. Bounces off the boards. That's stapled into Mahovlich. Here's a breakaway for Kornoye. Ready to go! Oh, he missed on that breakaway, but was called offside anyway. But Kornoye had a great chance as he went in there.
Watch Kornoye walk in here now. He pulls him to his outside, but Tretiak has that far side covered and deflects it into the corner. Also very alertly plays the rebound coming off the boards. But Frank Mahovlich saw Kornoye breaking, and he just had to get that puck up to him.
5 minutes and 57 seconds left in the second period. Canada won. Soviet no score. Pat Stapleton going back. Bill White is on the defense with him. 17 carrying the puck. Chased on the play by Mikhailov. Mishakov lost it to Bill White, who shoots it around back of the goal. Parisi jammed against the boards by Kuzkin. They mix it up. Here Canada getting a chance, and a shot by Esposito went wide. White keeps it in there. Cashman goes in to help Esposito, but they missed on their passing. The Soviets bring it out with Lachenko making a long pass into the Canadian zone, and a shot out to center to Kuzkin, who lost it to Esposito. Phil Esposito played it over on the wing to Stapleton. Stapleton tried to center it, went high, and went to the opposite corner where Phil Esposito checks his man. Mishakov gets a jolt there as it's passed right in front of the net on that robust play by Cashman. Up to center ice for Mikhailov, and he was knocked for a loop on that one, but there's going to be a penalty on the play for tripping. And they didn't spare the horses on that check, and Bergman is going to get the tripping penalty.
Bergman was beaten here, as you can see, and he gets the stick out, and Mikhailov takes the dive for an easy 2-minute penalty to Gary Bergman.
Canada penalty to number 2, Gary Bergman. 2 minutes for tripping. The time, 15:16.
La pénalité du Canada.
There's a look at an interested Timmy Horton sitting there, and I'm sure he's... And there's his wife, Laurie.
Getting ready now for the face-off. Bergman is off. Canada having their third penalty of the game. The Soviets have had 2. Canada leading 1-0, and it's very close, and it's really thrilling hockey all the way. Maltsev is out there with Starshinov at center. Harlamov is on the left wing. Lachenko is one of the defense players with Sagankov.
I think the key factor in the game for Team Canada has been the defense.
from the face-off. It's cleared into Maltsev in the corner. Clark out there with Peter Mahovlich to kill off the penalty, shoots it down the ice. And immediately Clark was replaced by Frank Mahovlich. So the two Mahovliches are out there. Harlamov goes down there, and he was checked at the defense. With Sagankov, number 7 for the Soviet, cutting in front of his goal. Passed on the right wing to Maltsev. Maltsev at center, over the blue line. Starchinov waiting for a pass. It was a weak one. Peter Mahovlich recovered. Gets it over to Frank Mahovlich. One man back. Frank Mahovlich going in, he shoots. And Petriak made a great save, a toe save on that one. Cleared pass to Starchinov, who couldn't control the puck. And it slides to the Canadian defense. Shot down the ice with Sagankov to Harlamov. He's a marked man tonight. He hasn't had the freedom he had in the first game. Lechenko ahead to Maltsev, 10. He played it back. It's a weak pass. And the Soviets aren't nearly as pass perfect as they were in the first game. And there's a reason. Sagankov coming in with Maltsev. Maltsev playing it back to Lechenko. Intercepted by Mahovlich, and Lechenko had to go back for it. 3:12 left in the period. They're changing on the goal. Canada's still a man short. Here's Maltsev clearing over to Yakushev. Yakushev made a bad pass. Peter Mahovlich took it out to center ice. Still has it. Took it away from Shadron. Still goes. Hooked into Paladiev and lost the puck. Now back come the Soviets to center ice. Yakushev over that on that far wing. Zeman back to the blue line to Paladiev. They're closing in, looking for a pass back to the blue line. Over in the corner, the point trying to watch his man with Park, and a bad pass goes out to center ice. Paladiev having to go back for it. Paladiev rolled it over the line. It's brought out again by the point. Over on the right side of Ellis. A deflection right on. Henderson missed on the rebound. Puck goes to the corner. They shoot it around back to the goal. Paladiev takes a look. Teams are at full strength as the Soviet cleared into the Canadian zone. Canada played safely with LaPointe. Passing on the left wing. A long pass is intercepted by Henderson's pass. And Ellis got back to break it up to Henderson, and it was offside. And it's called back to the blue line. With the score, Canada won, and the Soviets no score. This is game 2 from Toronto. All ready for the face-off at the blue line, and the puck is shot into the Canadian zone. Teams are at full strength. Cashman trying to get that puck out. He's mixing it up with Lechenko. It's recovered by Mikhailov. A shot right on. Esposito stopped it. Stapleton cleared off the boards out to center ice. Lechenko cleared it in, and it's recovered by Stapleton, with Esposito working over on that left side with Parisi and Cashman. Cashman got his stick on it. Lechenko sticks with him, took it from him, shot it over onto the left boards, out to center ice. Bill White playing it back into the Soviet zone. Lechenko giving it to Petrov, and then helped by Mikhailov. Mikhailov, 1 minute left in the period. Mikhailov over the line, taken right up by White. Ishikov tried to follow through on the blocking, but didn't get through. Parisi is in the corner, fighting for that puck to hold it. It's still loose. They're all digging at it, and it finally stopped. And there's a near mix-up there as they fought for that puck. And Parisi is very upset.
Parisi is very rugged along the boards, and you see him try to fight to get this puck killed so his players won't get any trouble. He's fallen down here, and there's a lot of pushing and shoving. I think the referee should have called this a lot sooner than he did, and that probably wouldn't have developed. Jean-Paul Parisi from the Minnesota North Stars. A good insertion in this lineup because he's been very rugged along with Wayne Cashman along the boards, and here's some of it right here. Notice the good position Whitey Stapleton has here. Keeps on his feet, protecting the puck.
Just as they were ready to face off, the Canadian team sent out a replacement. They haven't decided just who it'll be. Peter Mohammed stepped out. 40 seconds left in the second period. 1-0 for Canada. And you'll never see a harder fought battle in years, I doubt. Starshanov is now at center. The puck goes into the corner to Maltsev, back to the blue line, but these Soviet passes are going astray, chiefly due to the hard hitting of the Canadian team. Henderson, Ellis, and Clark attack. Clark gets that puck, cleared it back into Clark, right in front of Ellis, a shot! And Krutchak stopped that, the bounce right across the goal mouth. Zagankov is chased into the corner, stopped by Clark, they fall, Ellis goes in to help. Ellis is jammed on the board. Starshanov goes to the side, and there's Harlamov ran into the referee, and he'll likely get a misconduct. Harlamov in his anger raced at the referee, and we'll wait now.
You can see here he's pinned along the boards. Now he comes back, and he gets a penalty here. And he is very upset about it. And he might just have talked himself right out of the game with that little push against the referee. Big defenseman Zagankov going off. But Harlamov, in going over to protest, could well have got himself removed from this hockey game. And the Soviets cannot afford to lose a player like him at this stage. Foster, so far the thing that's impressed me about
Gennady Zagankov. 2 minutes for slashing and a 10-minute misconduct. The time, 19:54.
La pénalité.
The thing that's impressed me about Team Canada right now is it's not the same team as we saw in Game 1. The defense is so much more solid that Team Canada is not getting into the trouble in their own end that they were. The Soviets are playing them more in a one-to-one situation, and when you isolate them one-to-one,
there's Harlamov, 17 in there. He got the misconduct. And Zagankov got the slashing penalty. It was a foolish move by Harlamov. And then Bobrov, the coach, is getting into the act and having his say, even though it's in Russian. He apparently made his point. But Zagankov, number 7, and Harlamov was the one who shoved the referee. Now they're lining up with the Soviet, a man short. Nikita got the draw, as he generally does, to Park at the blue line. There's their shot! Krutchak stopped that one. It bounced in the air. Nikita was jamming in back of the net, and that's quite a skirmish at the end of the second period. With the score, Canada 1, and the Soviets no score. This is Game 2 from Toronto. Another player that impresses is that Zagankov. He certainly is a rugged customer while he's in the penalty box, or will be for the start of this third period. He's played a very aggressive game. He's going over in the penalty box now, along with the Harlamov. Harlamov is 17, and he'll be in that box longer than anybody else. From the face-off, the puck is cleared into the Canadian zone. Soviets are a man short. Up over the line at center. 2 10-minute periods in this third period.
I think the big thing in this third period for Team Canada is for them to enforce upon the Soviets that Team Canada plays their game. So far in this game, Canada has played the game the way they've wanted to. And if they can persist here in the third period, I think we'll skate away a winner tonight.
Esposito at center, facing Mishakov, who seems to be out there on all penalties. Starshanov as well. Lapointe goes in back of the Canadian goal. Bernoulli is going down the right wing at center. Over the line, one man back. He left the puck there. No one was there. And it's knocked back to the blue line with LaPointe clearing over from the side. Park failed to get out. Recovered the puck when he bumped into Starchinov, number 8. Park goes back to the net. Skating over onto the left side, made a rink-wide pass. Esposito going down there, really working his heart out tonight. Esposito center right in front, and Mahovlich couldn't get it. There's a check there when Mishakov lost his stick, and he tried to bull his way right out from the Soviet zone.
It was interesting, the second that Mishakov, number 12 there, lost his stick, up came the feet to try to control the puck, and he kicked it out, and that's what brought about the offside.
Most of them appear to be pretty good soccer players, the way they can handle that puck with their skates. Starchinov and Esposito facing off. He kicked it to the blue line, and it's shot down the ice by Lachenko. Park goes in back to the Canadian goal. 40 seconds left in the penalty. Up to center ice. Park over the right side. Cornoyer coming right in. He shoots. Score! Cornoyer from Park.
Absolutely beautiful play. Brad Park saw Yvan Cornoyer breaking on the right wing, and you'll see Cornoyer turn the jets on. And look at the pass, rink wide. And Cornoyer is gone, and he breaks in, good position, and he fires a good hard shot to that opening in Tretiak's legs, and it goes into the back of the net. Brad Park again, a beautiful pass on Cornoyer's stick, who is busting full speed now. And he was around Dragulin before he had a chance to make any turn at all.
Assist number 5, Brad Park. The time, 1:19.
1:19. Cornoyer from Park. A tremendous goal. Canada 2. Soviet no score. And it was a typical Cornoyer effort. And he's poisoned when he goes in there fast. Puck is back in the Soviet goal. Tark is waiting for a pass. Here's a shot as the Canadian team take heart on that extra goal. They're forcing the play, the jamming session around Tretiak, but they called the play.
We just saw Bobby Clark try to do something that he probably does better than anybody in the National Hockey League. From behind that net, he can score a lot of goals. I remember last year here in Toronto, he scored 2 goals against Bernie Perron, both of them from behind the net, and no one could believe it at that time.
Peter Mahovlich at center. Soviets are full strength. Up the center ice. Zeman had it go off the edge of a stick. Puck is back to the blue line. Here's a long shot. Went off the leg. It's cleared back behind the goal by Greasy. Into the corner. The Soviets lost it to Bill White. Passing on the left side. The Soviets get it again in front of it. Zeman shoots. Another great save by Tony Esposito. Canada trying to keep that puck out of their own zone. Finally get it out. Bill White playing it over onto the far side. And Cashman shot it back to the net. Reese trying to cover his man. It's recovered by Shadron at center. Over to Zeman. 11. Back to Yakashev. A shot. And it's stopped. Again, without too much trouble by Tony Esposito. Canada clear the puck out. There's Reese hauled down on the play by Shadron, 19. Cashman carries it in back to the Soviet goal. Now a shot wide of the goal by Bill White. Another shot by Stapleton is stopped by defense player Lyapkin. Soviet kept the center. Again, Stapleton breaks it up. Playing at center ice. 6:53 remaining in the first half of the 2:10 minutes of the third period. Mishakov got a ride there from Ellis. He skated him off. Made the pass at center ice. Over the line. Kuskin slowed him down. Recovered the puck. Played it on the left wing. Going down there from the Mihailov. Cleared in front. A shot. Another save. Scrambling right in front of the goal. Ellis was down in front with Bergen. And Esposito was able to cover up.
Mihailov comes down here with good control. He cuts across now. The Soviets have a good play. Look at the concentration. Look at how Tony Esposito comes out and covers it up. But the important thing tonight, Foster, is that Canada's defense is right there to help them out. Gary Bergman, Ronnie Ellis standing right on the doorstep. Ellis takes out Mihailov so he doesn't get the shot. Esposito smothers the puck.
And that's Mihailov there, number 13, and he was boring in on Esposito.
The checking tonight by Team Canada's forwards has been excellent.
Petrov going to face off. Mahovlich speaks to Stan Mikita with the red helmet. Mishakov is standing on the rim of the circle with Mihailov. There's a shot by Kuskin, easily handled by Esposito. Shot down the ice by Mahovlich. Lutsenko lets it go over the line, and it's called for icing, and the face-off will be to the left of the Canadian goalkeeper, Tony Esposito.
There's a good look at Harry Sinden, and he has to be a little more relaxed than he was this time in Game 1.
From the face-off, the puck slides back to Bergman. Bergman starting back, shot it out to center off a body, and Kuskin, number 4, goes round back of the Soviet goal. Stopped by Mikita on his pass. Lutsenko knocked it out. Frank Mahovlich, 27, cuts all the way back into his own zone, rounds his own defense, played it out off the boards. Kuskin has it, passed to Mihailov, who lost it. Mihailov gets it again, number 13. Not a bit superstitious. Takes a repass again, and is dumped by Bergman, who moved in right underneath him. Frank Mahovlich lobbed it to Mikita. Mikita tried to go through, and they're hitting each other hard again. Long pass on the right side as Canada start changing, as well as Soviet on the go. Mishakov got it to Starshinov. Starshinov back to the goal, trying to center it out. There's going to be a penalty call on the play. The Canadian player, Bergman, was down. Mihailov was on top of him. The referee has his hand up, and it's going to be a Canadian penalty as the Soviet goalkeeper has left the ice for an extra forward. Zeman. They still have the puck. They have 6 attackers, stopped by Cashman, and this will be the penalty. With the score, Canada 2 and the Soviets no score. This is Game 2 from Toronto. Clark is getting the penalty for Canada.
The Canada penalty to number 28, Bobby Clark. 2 minutes for slashing. The time, 5:13.
5:13.
Bobby Clark, 2 minutes pour Cinglé à 5 minutes 13 secondes.
That evens the penalties at 4 each in the game. Now then, the Soviets will have the power attack, and Yakushev will knocked over by Peter Mahovlich, who has been throwing his weight around very efficiently. Puck slides right back to Paladiev, intercepted again by Ellis, who's out there with Peter Mahovlich. Ellis 6, Peter Mahovlich 20, Bergman and Park the defense. Canada leading 2-0. There's a breakaway up the center. Zeman gets away from a shot. Oh, and he was hurried by Park and failed to get it. Yakushev scored! Yakushev was standing in front and was able to beat.
This is a good example of why you should always follow the play up. Zeman has a clear-cut breakaway. He shoots wide. Now watch Yakushev park himself in front of the net. Lapierre gets the puck right to Yakushev, sweeps it to the far side. Tony Esposito had no chance. Again, we see it here from another angle. He shoots wide. He's going for that top corner. Now look where Yakushev parks himself and sweeps it for the far corner. No goalie would have had a chance.
And number 11, Evgeny Zeman. The time, 5:53.
5:53, the time of the goal. Play is underway, up to center ice. Mihailov going in on goal, right in. And Esposito was able to stop him, and there's going to be a hooking penalty called against Canada. So the Canadian team will be a man short again. Harlamov is still in the penalty box, serving his 10-minute misconduct penalty. And
he's joined by Stapleton in there. And this could be very critical right now. We can see where the penalty comes up. Stapleton has to hook him to stop him from breaking in. Tony Esposito all alone. Big Alexander Yakushev, 6'1", big left winger, playing tonight at center ice.
Stapleton off for hooking at 6:14. The score is 2-1 for Canada, and the Soviet threatening to tie it up. Yakushev was the one who finally broke through by being overly persistent with the help of Liapin and Zeman. Now Shedrin. There's Pat Stapleton, number 3, sitting in the penalty box. LaPointe is on the defense. Peter Mahovlich remains out there. There's a pass back to Liapkin over on the far side. That crisscross passing play. They failed to click on that one. Now Shadron getting it back to Liapkin. Over on the far side, right in front of the goal, went wide of the net. Zeman knocked it back to the goal. It rolls off to the side. They failed to clear it out. LaPointe failed to get it away. Then Esposito cleared out. It's a race down with Peter Mahovlich going in on goal. Right in! He scores! Peter Mahovlich.
What an effort by Peter Mahovlich. What can you say? That Russian is still wondering where the puck is. Peter Mahovlich made an absolutely beautiful move. He has picked up the puck inside his red line. Now look at him isolate Polidyev. He gets him to put his legs together, isolates him, and then walks right around him. And what a move he made on Tretiak. Tretiak was completely fooled. Look at the move. He holds him with the big slap shot, walks around with the big reach. Now look at the move here. And holds it and jams it in the behind.
Peter Mahovlich beat Polidyev and then the goalkeeper, Tretiak, to get a sensational goal, to get that 2-goal lead back for Canada. And it was scored with Canada a man short. Stapleton in the penalty box. Peter Mahovlich. And it's 3-1 for Canada. A clearing pass at center ice. Lichenko over the line. Mihailov cut in and couldn't get any farther. Canada shoot it down the ice. 2:54 left in the first half of the third period. It is divided into 2 10-minute sessions. Cleared pass into the corner. Mishakov trying to dig it out. He was pinned there. Mihailov couldn't help. And so the face-off will be to the left.
Foster, absolutely beautiful goal. Came at a very appropriate time. When you're shorthanded, the Soviets had a good chance there to even it up. And with Peter Mahovlich scoring there, completely nullifies it. That has to psychologically hurt the Soviets an awful lot at this stage of the game.
Phil Esposito was given an assist on Peter Mahovlich's goal. Stapleton off at the time and still off. Petrov got the draw. Kuskin lobbed it over to Mihailov. It's back to Kuskin as they try to put the pressure on. The puck goes into the corner. Park lobbed it on the boards. Clark knocked it back in the corner. Park shoots it around on the boards. Ellis pinned by Kuskin. It comes up to center with Clark fighting his way. And Park couldn't get it. Now a 3-man Soviet rush down the left side by Mihailov. He faked the pass. It was knocked down. Petrov gets it again, takes a shot, and it goes to the far corner. Bergman took his man out. Kuskin comes in with a pass that failed to click. It hit a skate. Park is grabbed as he tried to get away. He's knocked over. Here's a pass in front. Mihailov fanned on it with Bergman falling in front. Bergman failed to get it away. Here's Stapleton back on the ice. He broke up the rush. Stapleton has completed his penalty and carried the puck into the Soviet zone. Bernoye turns at center. He scored the second goal for Canada. Canada leading 3-1 with 1:25. Look, he's back in front of the net. And Stan Mikita had a chance of a lifetime when Cournoyer had centered it out for him. Puck is near the Soviet goal. Kuskin playing it over on the far side. And it's broken up by Mikita. Anderson will stop. He's the rookie out there for the first time. The right foot for Mahavlich. He scores! Mahavlich. Frank Mahavlich has scored a fourth goal.
And both the Mahavlich brothers are dangerous tonight. And watch how he looks for a man out in front. Frank Mahavlich will walk right into the spot. And he drills one for the far corner, and it just catches the post. As the play develops here, they don't get it out. Mikita now has deflected it into the corner. Now he's looking all the time. He misses it, comes back in his skate. Now he's got Mahavlich set up perfectly. And Frank bangs it. It hits the far post and is in behind Tretiak. Here we see it again from another angle.
Frank Mahavlich from Mikita. Puck is cleared into the Soviet zone.
Goal scored by number 27, Frank Mahavlich. Assist number 21,
couldn't get anywhere. Here's the Malchin coming in, and a good save there by Esposito. Cournoyer also got an assist with Mikita on Frank Mahavlich's goal.
There's Cashman getting a little chippy, and at this stage, Foster, there's really no need for it. Play the game straight away. You've got 10 minutes. The Soviets aren't going to hurt you as long as you've got 6 men on the ice.
Frank Mahavlich scored that fourth goal from Mikita and Cournoyer at 8:59, giving Canada a 4-1 lead. From the face-off, Stapleton goes in back of the net, and this game is different as night and day from the first game in Montreal. Bill White clears that puck to center ice. They carry on. Parise was upset, but he carries right on into the corner. Parise is bumped by Ragulin, then by Starstov, and the pass from back of the net by Cashman goes right down to Tony Esposito, who shoots it up the ice. Now Esposito going in. Phil Esposito was offside as Sagankov was after him and is brought back for icing.
There's the assistant coach of Team Canada, John Ferguson. And he's sitting there looking like things are a little better. If only this were game one.
They're changing players. They've got 1 second before they change ends for the final 10 minutes of this third period.
There's a couple of the non-dressing Russian players.
With the score, Canada 4 and the Soviets 1. This game 2 from Toronto. The clock is at 10 minutes, meaning 10 minutes left in the game. This is the second half, and the teams have changed ends. On the face-off, play is underway with the puck loose at center ice. Yakushev getting it across to Shadrin, intercepted by Cournoyer, who couldn't get loose at center. Then Mahavlich, Frank Mahavlich, knocked it into the Soviet zone, brought out by Lyapkin, who shot it over on this wing, intercepted by Stapleton, rushing up on the attack. Cournoyer had it shot, the defenseman blocked it, and Yakushev comes racing back with Shadrin. Yakushev 15, and Cournoyer, who's rapidly rounding into shape, starts speeding away again at the blue line at center ice. Here's his shot, and it was a sizzler stopped by Tretiak. And Cournoyer has really uncorked many good moves in this game tonight.
Cournoyer had a great chance there because one of the Soviet players was tied up with Bill White down in Canada's end. And there's Bobrov right now, the head Soviet coach, and he has to be a little concerned with only 9 minutes going, trailing by 3 goals.
Ready for the face-off, 4-1 for Canada. Hart, number 5, clears it into the Soviet zone. Luchenko back to the net. Number 3, weaving out to center. Mihailov carries in the pass. His shot is deflected to the corner. Mihailov failed to center it. Esposito moves up at center with Cashman way over in the left. It goes over the line. Mishakov had that puck taken from him, but then Cashman goes into the corner, stopped by Kuzkin, and it comes to center ice. Park, number 5 for Canada, over to Bergman. Bergman cleared on the left side. Here's a shot by Risi. The puck bounces off the boards. Luchenko gets to center ice to Mishakov, number 12. It rolls near the Canadian goal, and Park stands back of the net, being watched by Mihailov. Now another try as they move out of position. Risi gets it to Bergman, out to center ice. Kuzkin drags it, gets it handed back to him. Esposito's after him. It's ahead to Petrov. It's against the boards. Ed Bergman is in there bouncing everything in every way possible. 7:51 left in the game.
Foster, as a general rule in hockey, the team that forechecks the best generally wins the game. Team Canada is forechecking very heavily in the Soviet end, and for some reason, the Soviets are not even sending one man in on many occasions in Canada's end. They are allowing Canada to set up and come out of their end with good puck control, which is going to give them good scoring opportunities.
The Soviets looked a bit frustrated there as they skated off the ice, Kuzkin and Petrov. Now the puck goes bouncing out to the Soviet line. Henderson had a chance, but he couldn't recover the puck as they go into the corner with Raglan covering him. Now Harlamov is on the ice after his misconduct penalty, and Clark skated him off and stole the puck right off his stick. Luchenko cleared ahead to Harlamov, who had a 10-minute misconduct penalty. He's trying to get going. His pass is intercepted by Henderson, but checked just as quickly. Maltsev, number 10, in on the Canadian zone, stopped, then cleared to an open wing. It's Raglan bumping into Park. Canada recovers. It hit Clark's skate. He made sure as he played it out to Henderson, but it went off his stick. Soviets trying it back again on that right wing, carrying it over the line. Here's Harlamov going in with a shot, and it's covered beautifully by Tony Esposito. Canada clear the puck out at center. Sagankov goes back for number 7 for the Soviet. Sagankov at center, one of their top defense players. A beautiful shot. Another save by Esposito. And Sagankov ended up in the corner. Nikita over to Mahovlich. Frank Mahovlich into the corner. Back of the net. Oh, and Ellis missed the pass as well as Nikita. Back comes Shadron. Zeman checked in the corner. And this Canadian team really fighting it out there, checking like fiends. A pass is knocked down, and also Yakushev while he tried to get it. And it certainly appears that Canada is too strong for this Soviet team tonight. They lead 4-1, and they're really battling. Here's Cournoyer showing great bursts of speed. Went racing up there, but couldn't get up there in time because he collided. Now Cournoyer coming up again. Cournoyer took a shot, and it nearly caught the inside of that post. Just went on the outside. Pat Stapleton knocked it over. And there's nothing wrong with the condition of this Canadian team, the way they're battling it out. Zeman from the corner. Passed on the left side. Liapkin ahead at center ice. Zeman up over the line. A drop pass without looking. He has it handed back to him. A long drive goes into the corner. Risi is covering his man. Cashman goes in to help. Esposito breaks out with one man back. Liapkin going in. A shot. And the drive was wide. Bill White was bounced on the boards. Risi goes back into the Canadian zone to Cashman, who lost it. Zeman clears back. Here's a shot. Stopped by Stapleton. Zeman goes into the corner. Back to Paladiev. Shooting it around back of the net. Zeman missing it. Into the far corner. They jam against the boards. Cashman couldn't cover. It's to one side of the net. They're trying to get in position. Yakushev couldn't get a shot. Now it's right to Zeman, back to the blue line, then into the corner again. Still playing tic-tac-toe with that puck. It's going loose again to Canada. Esposito, number 7, pulling away from Shadron. Carrying on, going in on the right side. And his drive was stopped. Yakushev in front of his own net, but Esposito right on top of him. A cleared pass on a change of players. Mihailov coming up over the line, number 13. Stopped at the defense. The puck is loose. Grabbed off by Petrov. It goes wide. Pushkin centered in front. And again, Esposito made a toe save on that one. And there's a fair bite in that Soviet attack yet. Pushkin goes all the way back to get it. 3:44 left in the game. 4-1 for Canada. Pushkin on the attack, and the Soviets are throwing everything in a last desperate drive. They try to keep the puck in there. Bergman shot it. It's knocked out to center ice by Henderson to Ellis. Ellis over the line. Tried to finesse his way through with Clark. Now Henderson shoots. And Petriak made a magnificent save with his glove over his head. With the score, Canada 4 and the Soviets 1. This is game 2 from Toronto. Clark is going to take the face-off for Canada as Canada play every man up in the Soviet zone park. Had a shot knocked down. It's tapped out to center ice. A rink-wide pass to Harlamov, who hasn't been very prominent in this game tonight. Bergman cleared it up at center ice, and then Ragulin took a going over from Ellis, and Starchinov, number 8, gets it back to the reliable Sagankov. At center ice, Sagankov goes down on the right wing. He tried to pull his way by Bergman, but failed. Bergman recovers the puck, shot it on the boards. Ellis tapped it out. Starchinov goes back to get it. 2:34 left in the game. 4-1 for Canada. Maltsev comes in, number 10, but he didn't get his shot. And then Nikita knocked Starchinov over as Starchinov seemed to go in with a high stick.
Team Canada has been a better team tonight in every department. And actually, Foster, with 2.5 minutes left in the game, it looks like the Soviets are the team that's tiring tonight. So the conditioning has been neutralized. Team Canada has the legs tonight that they apparently didn't have in game 1.
Yes, they were talking all the time in that first game about lack of condition. That was a misnomer because the Canadian team have the foot right now, and it's been their heavy checking that has taken the toll on the Soviets. Puck is cleared around back on the Soviet goal. Yapkin shot it to the corner. Frank Mahovlich broke it up, and then it goes loose. Canada recovers. Nikita to Cournoyer. It's back in front to Mahovlich. Cournoyer tried another one, and Zeman cleared it out. Gets a return pass, goes to center ice, goes across the line, a drop pass, and Cournoyer just backhanded it down the ice. One of those back flips. Yakushev on the move. 1:47 left in the game. The puck rolls to center ice. Recovered by Savard, who's out there with Lapointe. They drive it into the corner. Peter Mahovlich centered it to Frank Mahovlich. Cournoyer knocked it wide. It's back with the goal. Yakushev made a long forward pass. Zeman trying to come out with Yakushev passing aimlessly at center. Lapointe returns for Canada with a backhand, and the Canadian team are just hemming them in. 1:14 left in the game. 4-1 for Canada. And it would appear that the series is going to be even. Into the corner. Savard passes on the right side. Cashman. Now 1 minute left in the game. And it's banged down the ice by Parisi. Petriak came out of the net to shoot it out. Cashman knocked it across the line. And the Soviets tried to come back. Mishakov tried to go in on the defense. It was blocked by Lapointe, who's out there with Savard. Canada dragged that puck. Cashman getting it back to Savard, who's taken in. Esposito helped him out, lobbed it to center ice. Parisi failed to get the loose puck, but Esposito rides it, gives it to Parisi, who was away offside with 20 seconds remaining.
So far tonight, it's been puck control. Puck control by Team Canada has been all important, and I bet you if they put a clock on the amount of time that Team Canada's had the puck tonight, it would probably be close to 40 or 45 minutes. They've controlled the game from start to finish, and what a series we're going to have, Foster. 6 more games like this.
It's certainly great to think of it. Right from the drop of the hat, Clark gets it to Henderson, who's getting in. He couldn't get his backhand. Petrov tried to shoot it to Mihailov. Back to Petrov as they keep on moving. 8 seconds left in the game. The horns are starting to blow. Lechenko coming down with a cleared path, and the game is over. And Canada has evened the series 4-1. And that Tony Esposito is being mobbed by his teammates. They all deserve tremendous credit on the performance they put on tonight. What a comeback after being completely outplayed in the first game. An entirely different story now for the series, and the two teams are shaking hands, both lining up and going down the line, showing an excellent spirit right through. With the final score, Canada 4 and the Soviets 1. This is Game 2 from Toronto.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are the outstanding players of tonight's game as chosen by a panel of press, radio, and television personalities.
Mesdames, Mesdemoiselles, Messieurs, voici les joueurs par excellence pour le match de ce soir, tel que choisi par un groupe de commentateurs de la radio et de la télévision. First for the Soviet team, pour l'équipe nationale soviétique, Vladislav Plitiak. For Team Canada, pour l'équipe Canada, Tony et Phil Esposito.
Just right here. I want to just talk to them briefly. Sorry. Vladislav, congratulations. You were sensational in Montreal on Saturday night, and you were even greater tonight.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. The Canadians think you're wonderful. Thank you very much. There you are. Now, the panel of Jim Coleman, Milt Donnell, Bill Stevenson, Gilles Theroux, and Red Fisher, the chairman, couldn't decide who among you was the outstanding player of the game tonight. So we're going to have a special memento ring for each of you as a reminder of the outstanding night you've had in this great series. To Phil and Tony, congratulations to you. Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
I don't know where you reached down for it, but it seemed to me that this was the most emotional experience the fans have ever had. You must have gone on emotion tonight, both of you yourselves.
Well, this is bigger than winning the Stanley Cup as far as I'm concerned tonight. This was as excited as I've ever been in my life. I was excited on Saturday night in Montreal, but this one even topped it.
Tony, how about you? What did you see? What did you see out there that you really didn't see last Saturday night?
I just thought that our team really played well and came back to pick up the loose men. This was a difference. They cleared the rebounds for me, and I was very pleased with our performance. I thought our team really worked and deserved the win.
It was sensational. Thank you very much. Congratulations to you, and good luck along the rest of the way. Thank you very much. And now let's go back in to Bill Good.
And with the final score, Canada 4 and the Soviets 1. This is Game 2 from Toronto.
I remember it was so hot in the garden. There was no air conditioning in the garden. I don't think they have air conditioning now, but 90, 95 degrees, and it was very, very difficult. But everybody worked real hard. We had a problem. Our major problem was everybody was telling us that we were going to beat them in 8 games. We worked hard, but we would have worked harder knowing that we could be beat. In hockey, you have to be scared of losing.
I think the second game in Toronto and the practice the day before, this lark-like attitude disappeared, and the intensity level was really high in that practice in Maple Leaf Gardens, and we actually, some of us sort of played like in the inter squad or the practice that we had. Some of us sort of tried to imitate the Russian style of play, you know, with the sticks and, you know, the spearing and all of that, so that the guys would be ready for that tactic. And I think the second game in Toronto, I think Harry Sinden, that may be one of the best coaching jobs ever in hockey, for Canada to lose that first game in Montreal so badly and to come back and win that game in Toronto. I thought that was unbelievable what Harry Sinden did.
The Toronto game was a tremendous effort. I mean, it was by the team. It was pick yourself up the floor. I mean, we have to carry out what we decided would be the best chance to win the game. We didn't deviate from it. I didn't mean to say that we were dominant in the game, but we were at least in as much control for as many minutes as they were. And we ended up getting a big break when Peter Mihalik scored a shorthanded goal. I mean, a break. It was a great play by a it exemplified and illustrated the will of a North American player to do something individually to pick his team up. It was a great goal. But that game and the first game in Moscow, which we lost, I think were the two best games the team played.
I think the determining factor of why we won is not because of the characters on our team, but because of the character we had on the team. And that was the thing. We had a lot of players that, as individuals, were willing to sacrifice in games to win hockey games. And sacrifice not for the system, but for their teammates. And that's what we were willing to do.
You know, you're scared as hell, obviously. You've been embarrassed, and now you know the opposition is really, really good. And I think the great thing about a National Hockey League player is that he can make adjustments, and he can be coached to play the game differently and make the adjustments that are necessary for him to be able to compete. And I think the real reason we ended up winning the series and ended up getting back into it in Canada was because of Sinden and the coaching staff. They made the changes in our lineup, and they made the changes in our game plan that at least gave us a chance to compete at that level till we got our conditioning and got our whole group together properly.
We could come back. We could compete against them. We felt our skill level was just as good, but we knew we had some things to our advantage. We knew the Canadians have emotion, part of their game, that they can bring out, and the Russians didn't seem to have that. They played like a machine. There was no emotion ever showed, and we felt if we could get on one of those emotional rollers that happens to teams in the playoffs in Canada with guys that all been part of and involved in it, that would be a big benefit for us. But the first thing we had to concentrate on was our conditioning.
Sport is a wonderful game if you win, and it is. I mean, it's terrible when you don't win. And it's even worse when you're expected to win and expected to do well and you're not doing well. That adds to the frustration and everything. And thank goodness we had an Italian guy with sweat running down his face, and then just, Phil puts it on the line and he's poured out his heart. And boy, that woke Canadians up big time.
Toronto was fine because we won. But after that first period, people were booing the heck out of us. If it wasn't for Tony in that first period in Toronto, we would have been blown out. But we won that game. And then it went to Winnipeg. And we weren't in condition. I don't care what everybody says. We weren't in good shape. We weren't. And there's no doubt, even though I thought the last 4 or 5 days we tried really hard to work to get into it. I remember Ferguson, just because I was on Fergie's team, and he was just like come on, you big stiff, let's go. And then he would come to me after going, way to work. And that made me feel good because I never worked that hard in my life.
How long did it take? Pat, did you know? 5 minutes. No, really. Well, okay, that's a good point. What about the atmosphere / attitude you fellas had, or the whole team had, not just before game one and after game one? Was that an eye opener?
I think that the hockey sticks that they used had Montreal Surprise written on it. So they must, I don't know what they knew that we didn't know, but apparently they knew something. So I would think after the first game we had to stop and think about where we went wrong and were we as good as what we were told we were. And we were told we were pretty good, and they weren't very good, but we found out differently.
I think they were convinced that they were coming to beat us. You know, and it was very easy for them because nobody expected them to win. And if they do, they used to say, we came here to learn, but they had some pretty good hockey players. Some of them one of the best in the world, and playing on the big surface. And personally, I really enjoy playing on the big surface, and I think our rink, especially in those years, playing in Boston and Chicago, was so small. Now we got all the rink standard, but playing on the Olympic surface, you need better players. You need more mobility, and That's why you have the European player coming here, and they're always the best player on the ice most of the time, because they played on a big surface.
It's that international, Canada, Russia. It was something very, I don't think it'll ever happen again. There's too many Russians playing over here now. We'll never get over, that was something very, very special.
I've been quite a few cups as a player, and I've been on two cups as a general manager in Montreal, and I don't think you can elevate yourself emotionally as high as this series. To me, it's the greatest event in my career. It's the 72 series.
You had a question right here, sir, yes.
I think the people in Canada were, as they found out later, pretty surprised with the antics that the Soviets pulled with Phil Esposito, like pulling in his room at 3 in the morning. Did they specifically pick on him, or did it happen to everybody in all the rooms? And what other antics did they?
Yeah. I had calls during the middle of the night. They believe they stole our steaks, stole our milk.
I had called in New York too.
Stole our beer. Yeah. They were masters of delay. You know, you arrive at the airport there, and they come on the plane and see what valuables you have to list everything you've got. So you got to wait there. Then you got to go wait for your luggage. They're masters of making you wait. Passports, yeah, the whole thing. Yeah.
Yes.
We always seem to display a little more adrenaline and intensity, and I think that kind of lifts our game up a little higher than I see theirs. Do you kind of think that helps? Like, I don't really see that in the Russians, right? And a lot of Europeans. They just don't seem to have the same level of adrenaline or intensity when it comes to a crucial situation. I don't know what you guys thought.
The good old Canadian enthusiasm compared to could you sense it, Bill? Could you sense that on the ice?
I found the Russians playing against was very monotone. You know, there was certain things happened on the ice. You know, if you did that to a Canadian player, wow, you'd have an elbow in your face in a minute. But I've heard that they used to practice those type of things. Tarasov, who was an originator of their game, used to have face-offs, and he'd drop a puck and then elbow them in the face and learn to control themselves. So I don't know how true that is, but I found them very unemotional. They're just very bland faces a lot of time.
But I would think that would take away from your game. I would think the way we play.
Take away from our game, sure.
Because we get really into it.
Yeah. I thought it was about game 6 or 7 before we actually saw their face. We were always looking at their back.